Yeah. Oh, wait, Spaghetti King. That's the wrong one. That's the old one.
All right.
Okay. Um, put the CD in your computer.
I swear I have that game. It's like this first person like Lego thing. I swear I
Yeah,
have
you
that.
skateboard around, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Oh
Lego
man.
Island.
Yes, dude. I'm like 5 years old again. Oh,
It's
dude, I've played that game.
classic.
Dude, that is so old school, man.
I
Oh
played the
man.
shit out of Lego Island too. I don't remember playing one that much. I remember two was like more open world. It was like third person, I think.
Yeah, it was. And I remember everyone they would like just destroy their cars so they could run around on foot. And
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't play Lego Island 2 for a long time, but I've been playing Lego Island 1 since I was like 5 years old. Like, it was like the only game we had on the computer at my daycare. So
Ah.
everyone was like fighting over to play it, even though it wasn't that great. But I remember like we would just all like go to the like main house you start in, and you can like watch all the movies and character introductions, and we found it like so amazing.
I had a we had a GameCube at our daycare actually, and
Oh,
I never got to play it ever. Only once, and I died right away, and then they took it away. But they always played like Mario Party and fucking what was it? Luigi's Mansion.
that's an honor because we never had anything that good at mine. The best we had was an N64 with a crap controller.
Yeah,
Uh, and all we had
I've
on
heard
that,
that many a time.
all we had on that was like Pokemon Stadium. We had Mario 64, but the controller was so bad it was not very playable. And we had Majora's Mask, but you had the same problem. But Majora's Mask, we tried playing it and we couldn't get anywhere because when you're like 5, you're not going to get anywhere in that game. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we had. It was pretty wicked seeing like Mario Party at a young age.
Ooh yeah, I
Luigi's Mansion.
yeah, because the first time I was exposed to those games is when I rented them, and I remember I rented both of those. I rented Mario Party 4 and I rented Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion terrified me the first time I played it. I had to turn the game off because I was so scared.
It's
Literally,
spooky,
just
yeah.
yeah, just the intro part where like the ghost like moves the key and whatnot. I like once that happened, I literally like turned the thing off because I was like so scared. I was like, oh
It's
no,
too
the
much.
ghost moved.
It's too much.
Yeah, literally. So Luigi's Mansion scared me too much. Like the cutscene where Luigi's walking into the room where he meets Egad, and it's all he's scared and I'm scared. It was too much. I was like 5. Yeah, I was 5, so it was too much for me. Um, Mario
That's
Party
hilarious.
4 was Mario Party 4 was decent, but that's the thing with Mario Party is I had no clue how to win back then, so I always lost. And then I figured out the handicaps, and then I just turned the handicap on max, and then I always won, but then it became boring. Because all the handicaps is they just give you like a free start to begin with. So if you turn out like 5 handicap, and it's like you start with 5 stars, everyone else starts with 0. So it's like obviously you're going to win.
It's not a lot of point.
Yeah. So yeah.
I got Mario Party DS. Did you ever play that much?
Yep. I had that. That's the Mario Party I've played the most.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That's my shit.
Yeah. The only 2 Mario parties I ever owned was 8 and DS. So I've played those quite a bit. But the main
I have
yeah. I
I
never
have
played
2
any of
in
the
DS.
64 ones.
Two is fun, but it's definitely worth like the title of like the friendship ruiner. It's
Yeah.
bad. I've had some fits of rage over that game. Some embarrassing stories. I've seen men turned into animals over that game.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like with Mario Party, a lot of things are luck, so you just can't take it personal. But the game will spite you. Um,
It's worse than Monopoly because I feel like because there's programming, there's ways of like if you're doing a certain like if you're doing well enough, then the CPU will try harder, and it's like that doesn't happen in Monopoly. You know, it's just like total chance. But also, Mario Party lasts forever. So when you're doing so well because your strategy's perfect, and in the last 2 rounds someone just fucks it up with the stupidest move, and then they win like all the bonus stars, it is infuriating. That's hours of your day wasted.
That's the thing. It's like Mario Party games. They technically aren't like that long. They're like 2, maybe 3 hours at best. But it feels really long for some reason. I think it's because
Well,
there's
it's like
yeah. I think it's because there's a mini game every turn. It kind of
definitely.
it's kind of like monotonous in a way, but you're like having fun when it's going your way. But when it's not going your way, it's like ugh.
Yeah, it's a little slow. I think it's because the mini games. I think you're right.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. It's fun. It's slow, but it's fun. That kind of thing. But that's probably why, like, when you're not into it, it really gets you in a bad mood.
Yeah. I think the sequels are a little more forgiving, but
Oh
two
yeah.
is ruthless.
Yeah, because the N64 ones is like chance time situation where, or duels where you're just gonna get into some super unlucky situation and then you just lose everything. It's like, oh well, oh we're just gonna take half your stars and well, can't do anything about that. Last 3 turns, good luck, you're dead. So
Also, depending on where you're, like what map you're on, it's really easy to screw people over into. There's a lot of things like you can set up traps so that they get sent back to the beginning of the map. You know, and those are like in every corner.
yeah.
There's tons of items to fuck people over. It's like I don't know if this is in future games, but there's a giant boo, and if you talk to him, you can give him 5 coins and he'll steal coins from someone, or you give him 50 coins and he'll guarantee steal a star.
Yeah, those are in the other one, but they're like way harder to get to. So
Oh, it's like every few turns you can get
yeah,
to it.
yeah.
It's bad.
In the future ones, it's like you'll probably see it like once per game. But yeah. Yeah, the
Mario
traps
Party
back
2
down are way
is
worse. Like they got way softer on the traps. It's like instead of taking you back the first turn, it's like we'll have the space as you go. We'll take like 5 points from you and whatnot. It's like it's way nicer.
it's like halfway across the board if you do it right.
Yeah.
Because it's basically you'll be in a corner, and if you land on the wrong spot, it'll come out of the corner and push you all the way across that one side of the board. And if you have 2 traps set up, it'll chase you to one side and then chase you down another. So it can chase you literally to the other side of the board, screw over so much, so easily. It's like that.
Yeah, I'm in Mario Party 8 actually. The Bowser map actually has that as a gimmick. So that's like, oh, unlucky space. You like hit Bowser and that happens to you. Whereas in that, it's just like a regular thing that can happen. So
It's just part of the game.
yeah, well they
It's
just
brutal.
became like soft on it. Well, that's the kind of weird thing is like in you can like play as like DK in the 64 games I think, but after that they made DK like they did the thing where you have a DK space and you have a Bowser space and DK is good. So you like hit DK and then you get him, but then after that it turns to like a Bowser space. So it's that kind of thing.
Interesting.
And apparently
I miss.
apparently there's some kind of rumor that they stopped allowing you to play DK in the GameCube games because of like Rare being sold to Microsoft, so some kind of like grudge against DK or something. There's that kind of rumor, which
That's hilarious.
I think that would be really funny if that were true.
Like,
oh, you guys made Donkey Kong 64. Well, we're not going to let you play DK in Mario Party anymore.
It's so petty. I love it.
I can see Miyamoto doing it though.
I always play DK, and it's because he has that really awkward noise in the 64 games.
Yes, like I don't. No one ever seems to say anything when I say this. DK's like noise is so weird. Whatever he's like, yeah, like
it doesn't sound like a monkey.
It's so. I think it first showed up in Mario Kart 64. When you choose,
Yeah,
it's such a weird sound.
and it's weird because in like Donkey Kong 64, he has a normal sound. Same with Smash 64. He's like, it's like a roar. It's like
Yeah.
whatever. But in those games, it's the it's so fucking it's strange.
Yeah,
It's really
I think
off-putting.
it's in all the Mario parties too. I think he has that sound in every single one.
In Mario Party 2, if you press what is it? I think the Z button. If you press the Z button, your character will make like their noise. So Mario goes Yahoo! Yoshi does like his noise, and Donkey Kong will make the fucking the weird thing, and you can just spam it as much as you want. It's fucking so cheesy.
Ah, that's beautiful. I think that's the only like voice clip they have for Donkey Kong. It's just that every time.
You just fucking spam it. It's so good.
I just can't mimic it. I can't mimic it because simultaneously it's like he's lowering it, but then at the same time it's like he's like raising his voice. He's like raising and lowering it at the same time. I wonder if a human actually created that on their own.
Think it's synthesized?
Well, apparently, from what I know, the Mario voices, there's like these certain Japanese guys that do it. Like I know Yoshi, like he has a specific voice, like the sound that Yoshi has, where he's all like, you know, like that's like a certain guy who's like been doing it for like 30 years or whatever, because that's how voice acting is in Japan.
Yeah.
I don't know about Donkey Kong though, because the only sound he makes that I know is that like one sound. So I don't know if like a guy made it.
Well, like I feel like he got a lot more generic in like Donkey Kong Country Returns and stuff. It's just like a normal whoo, whoo, whoo.
Yeah.
But like
in Smash 1 and Melee, he actually has like a gorilla like sound. But then
yeah, like he growls.
Yeah. But then in like Brawl After, they kind of just made him like a normal, like it's still kind of like, but it's nowhere near as prominent. He's kind of quiet.
It's more just like a monkey. It's less like a big ape.
Yeah, I mean, I do like Donkey Kong and like Subspace Emissary. He like I don't think he ever makes a sound, but like you have the epic cutscene where he like shows up and they're like pointing and whatnot. I love that. I love that cutscene. Like that's so on point.
It's so Nintendo.
Uh huh. I love that Subspace is just like silent. You know.
Totally.
Very like Sonic 3 and Knuckles, where it's just you kind of just follow along and yeah, would have been great to would have been great to keep, but Sakurai's like, well, I'm done with the cutscenes because people just upload them on YouTube, so what's the point? I'm like, people upload them on YouTube because they're good. Like,
that's so weird.
Yeah.
That's like saying, oh, people like fighting in tournaments, so what's the point of having competitive in our games? It's like,
yeah,
come on.
Well, then again, Sakurai did say that. Sakurai did say that.
He did. He's batshit.
What's that? You wanna play Melee seriously and competitively? Well, let me like take out every single element about the game you like.
Oh, a new expansive part of our community that's doing well. Nah.
Yeah,
so weird.
Yeah, it's like that's like you'd think if Nintendo actually saw anything, then you'd think they would see the Melee community, who's like these like diehard, crazy, dedicated guys keeping Melee alive way after it's going. You'd think they'd say, "Oh, well, what a golden opportunity! We can throw money at this. I mean, you guys are keeping this alive on your own." But no, they say, "How dare you play this game not the way we want you to? We're gonna screw over your events and take money from you."
Or how dare you set history? This be the only game that's played competitively for 20 years straight.
With no patches, with no support, with nothing. I mean, literally, Nintendo screws us rather than helping us.
And with largely the same community most of the time.
Same people just going, just on and on. It's like that dedication and staying in the game. Because, like, it wasn't even just Nintendo, like, mocked Melee. Everyone else in like the fighting game community thought Melee was like, oh, this isn't a serious game. That's why like the MLGs were such a big deal back in the day, because they were literally the only guys who actually respected Melee. Everyone else would not give any support. And you saw how far Melee went in the MLGs anyway, because Melee was like their number one thing besides Halo, with no support still. And you know. That's what it is. Melee just overcomes all. Melee is the alpha and the omega.
This is true. Did I ever tell you about Midnight Gospel?
Yeah, yeah.
Very good show. I think if you can find a way to watch it, you should definitely check it out.
Mm-hmm. I have an insane like backlog of things to watch. I got like an anime list. It's like 60 things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Half of them like harems, but the other half serious stuff.
I've been rewatching the first few seasons of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I didn't watch the whole show, but I watched like the first 5 or 6 seasons ish, and it's real funny stuff. I just fell off, started watching other stuff, but I felt like rewatching it. I've heard these are the best seasons anyway. I'm probably gonna watch it all after, but it's a phenomenally funny show. It's next level. Like this is like what Seinfeld was doing back in the 90s, brought to like modern standards, like YouTube Day. So it's a lot of very offensive humor, a lot of just boundary pushing in general. Like there's an episode, it's about a crew who runs a bar. And a lot of the joke in the whole series is that these are actors who are renowned as like really good people, really, good public figures, just being terrible, awful human beings in this show. And so they run a bar, and they realize that a lot of the people coming in are kids because they've been forgetting to ID people coming into the bar. And so instead of making sure no kids show up, they see the money in this opportunity and say that this is a safe haven for kids to drink.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, kids only get 2 or 3 drinks each, and then we're cutting them off, and no one's allowed to start trouble. Like, they're the patron saints. They're doing the world a favor here. It's just so gross, and they get so wrapped up in these high school politics, and they fall in love with 18-year-olds, so it's legal, but it's still obviously really, really creepy.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole episode, the whole series really is just their own faults falling in on themselves and not realizing it. It's great stuff. Like there's an episode where they're just sick of working, so they decide to go on welfare, and then they get addicted to crack. It's insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds kind of gritty.
It's all over the place, but it's really, really funny. Like, basically, their friends who are still working steal some money from their boss, so they have like these tuxedos on and the champagne and all these girls, and they walk by the 2 who are now like almost homeless and addicted to crack, and they're like, oh, boo-hoo, did someone get addicted to crack? It's fucking ridiculous. They're like these dapper men with top hats and everything. It's beautiful. It really is. It's just it's an amazing way of bringing together all these like just dark and horrible things into like comedic irony. It's something else.
Well, that is interesting. I mean, I've only seen like clips of Seinfeld, basically. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Sorry, Danny DeVito is the dad as well in Always Sunny, so it's worth it.
All right.
Whenever he talks about his ex-wife, he says she's a whore. Not a whore, but a whore.
She's a whore.
She's a whore. My whore ex-wife. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff. Sorry for the little tangent there.
No, that's fine.
What episodes are we watching?
Well,
it's only been 20 minutes.
Yeah, you were bringing out the list or whatever before, so.
Oh, right. I can't even remember. Last time we watched what? Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters, Spider-Man, and the CD32X.
Right. Just a second here. I'll check what's next. Right, Bible games, Ghostbusters, 32X. Okay, so Silver Surfer's next if you want to do that.
Okay. That's that
Let's
one
see.
is an interesting one. It's kind of one of my favorites, even though it seems like it's kind of underrated. But yeah.
Number 104 on the archive list.
Okay. Got it on my tablet. So
2 seconds. Let me grab my water.
sure.
Sorry.
Yeah, I just need my headphones.
Cheers, mate.
Just getting my headphones here.
Cool. Cheers, love. A Carberry's here.
Certainly, bruv.
Oi, bruv, you got some chips you can spare?
I'll be back in a jiffy.
I'll be back in a jiffy in a pot. That's why they call it a jiffy pot.
Come on, me love. Just looking for these bloody headphones. Well,
Just pop in some jiffies, don't mind me.
ugh. Come on, they're like right next to me. I'm using them all the time. I use them like almost every day because I need to like edit videos all the time. How could they be that far from me?
I feel that. I use my headphones almost constantly for everything, and yet I still lose them regularly.
Okay, here they are. Here they are. Ugh. Under the Ritz cracker box.
How they got there is a mystery.
Uh-huh.
Oh, pardon me, love. Are you addicted to crack, dear?
No, sir, but ASMR's coming close. ASMR, I love that.
Would you like some ASMR?
Well, it's just one thing I do, but now I'm slowly kind of getting attention. I got Comrade Kermit. Looks like communist Kermit the Frog. He's commenting on the videos.
Commie Kermit, I like it.
Lelouch v Britannia. He's basically known as the guy that comments on like every ASMR video ever. So he's there.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, so I just like post one like every day. So that's what you gotta do.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, you just gotta keep, cracking away at it. I made a video about the whole hacks situation. I linked to that video. Hacks deleted it. Deleted it a couple days later. And then he put out a revised version that's more nice, not as edgy. And, I guess I'll probably like make a retort to that and be like, yeah, you said kind of like out there controversial things, but I at least appreciated that you were just willing to go out there and be honest, and now you're like, oh well, this is the real version.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of weak when he was like beforehand. He's like, it's a win-win for me no matter what Leffen says, and then he deletes his own video. So
Yeah. It's not a.
yeah, I would say yeah.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. It's like, well, you see it all the time. People say something controversial, they think they can take the pressure, and then they get a bunch of angry comments, and then they say, well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, I promise.
They realize they said, and they're like, oh, I was just in my head. It
is tough to take the pressure. It is tough to take the pressure. That's the thing. If you're gonna come out and just say something like controversial, then you need to own it. Because the moment you go, well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, then you've defeated yourself and they've defeated you. So that video was getting like more dislikes than likes, and everyone was hating on it. But that's good, honestly. Yeah. Honestly, it is good when a video gets more dislikes than likes on occasion, because it shows that like people aren't just robots that go, oh, well, this be good, me be liking.
Yeah, like they pay attention at least a little.
Yeah, but I mean, Hacks should have expected it because he literally came out saying, yeah, well, Leffen is kind of like taking over Melee at the moment, and he's the most popular in Melee, so he should have been expecting hate, but he couldn't take it. So it is sad too because Hacks was one of the only guys who could actually call out Leffen because he owns his own business. He doesn't have like sponsorships or whatever, and usually sponsorships don't want you like making call outs like that. That's why you don't see as much like money match like trash talk as you did back in the day. Like you notice that like Mango back in the day like called out Leffen when he showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Still like a legendary thing, even though Mango lost, where like he fights like chillin', and then Mango comes up and he's like, we're gonna throw 1,000 on it. But part of the reason why he could do that is because Leffen had just come back and he wasn't sponsored yet. So there wasn't politics in it. And not much people notice that, but you see how these things go. So
Totally interesting.
uh-huh.
Ready to do this episode?
I'm just getting it up here.
Sweet.
I got the headphones in. I'll just check the audio.
Oh.
Okay. Alright. Nice choir moment.
It's the Halo theme.
Oh, okay. That's why I wouldn't know. But I just heard choir.
My brother played a lot of Halo, so I grew up around it. It's very choiry. It's like a big Mongolian chant.
Yeah. One of the ASMR channels we watched, there was a joke about getting her to sing the Halo theme. So this one guy, he announced his crusade to have her sing the Halo theme. So he's like day 1 of asking to sing the Halo theme, day 10, and he like asked for I think 2 months. And eventually he got his wish. So now there's kind of like a meme out of it. I initially opposed it, but after the crap Sonic 30th anniversary announcement, some people were asking her to sing City Escape, and I've joined the crusade. So every day she comes up with a video. I think I'm on day 32 of asking sing City Escape. Sonic deserves it. I deserve something for my Sonic 30th anniversary. So
it's hilarious.
We got the Halo theme, and I'm looking for City Escape. All right.
Respect.
Okay, so I'll just sit a little bit closer so it gets my audio better.
Am I coming through good?
Yeah, you're coming through good. You are like you're like a tad loud, but it doesn't affect it too much. Like what I did is I actually turned my microphone volume down.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now.
Yeah.
How's it right now?
That's better. Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, because I have mine at around like 25. I go at. So.
Right.
Okay, so I got it here.
Okay, count me in.
1, 2, 3, go. Welcome, I'm Spaghetti King.
I am Chrono7654.
And this is the Mega Man opening?
Yeah, I forgot about this.
Fucking presents.
Fucking presents.
I think this is in Ass Association. I think this is in Ass Association. Yeah, in Ass Association. I love that one. Nice. He never does Association again. Rated and fucking starring James Rolfe. I love this one because this is kind of like childish because he's just throwing in curses because why not? But
it's the spirit of the nerd.
Well, that's basic.
I love this title screen.
Yeah, I love that. That's well, it's a Contra intro. The thing is Mega Man, but that's like a Contra thing. So
Yeah.
the funny thing about this video is like, if you look on at the editing, there's some kind of like there's some problems with it. Like there are a couple parts where there isn't audio, and the filter on the video is kind of. He said they was kind of flawed. Like you can see, he's kind of like orange. He points that out in the
Mm,
making an AVGN video thing, but it's kind of funny. But it's basically just trivia at this point. But
interesting.
this something funny about this game because it's so ridiculously challenging, but I can't really hate it. You know,
No, it looks pretty hateable.
it's kind of tough. Like I mean, I've never played it, but I look at it and I don't hate it. I look at it and it's one of those things where because have you ever seen like speedruns of this game?
No.
They're pretty interesting when you see people who are actually good at it and they don't get hit. It kind of
Hmm.
has that Contra appeal, but the main problem is that it's not necessarily that you die in one hit; it's that you can't run into anything. You can't touch the walls; you die immediately.
Right. I like the I like the idea that you can shoot two directions at once. I feel like the bullet hell arcade fan in me would really love that.
Yeah, like the thing is, I don't hate it, but it's one of those things where you there are so many other better space shooters. Like I'm on real brain fart mode. What is it?
Gradius?
Yeah, Gradius, Arzone, not Arzone. What am I thinking?
Yeah, R Zone. I think so.
Oh no, the R Zone is the Tiger Electronic console. Um,
Oh,
yeah.
R
What was
type.
it? What
I'm
was
pretty
it?
sure it's R type.
Yeah, R Type. R Type. Right, right, right. Got to think back to the Brawl OST. There's everything in there. Oh man,
Gradius
but
3 is real fun.
yeah, Gradius is great. All the all the Gradiuses are great because Gradius started, I think, on uh,
I think it was an arcade game.
it was an arcade game, but I think there was a TurboGrafx 16 version. Actually, I think is where the first two were on, and then it went to SNES.
Ah,
Uh,
interesting.
I believe so. And that happens a lot of cases where you have like one good game that was like originally TurboGrafx 16, and then you just see it somewhere else.
Yeah.
That
Did
that
you ever play Splatterhouse?
I've like very little. I've played it a little bit, but
It's pretty good stuff. It's a good beat 'em up.
yeah, this part is kind of funny because what happens is he'll be like, oh fuck, but then it will just cut to him like making a face. It's actually like not him saying it. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's funny. Like I used to notice it and be like, it's kind of cheap, but now it's like it's just funny. It's just part of it.
I appreciate going through these old episodes. I appreciate how many like editing risks he took, you know?
Yeah,
Like in the Ghostbusters episode where he did the blue screen, or in this episode where he threw himself on the title screen.
yeah, yeah,
Just random little things that you don't see every episode. It's neat.
yeah. Because that's the thing now. It's like a lot of times the only thing he does that really mixes it up is some kind of green screen joke, and you can see some kind of funny things with that. But back here, it's much more experimental.
100%.
Yeah, you even see that with like the openings. Like the openings are much more like mixed up and interesting back then. I can't remember
Oh,
any interesting opening in the last like 50 episodes or anything.
yeah, I think it's just like either the regular or just like some sort of compilation.
Yeah, like something I did kind of like is on the Akari Warriors, he actually did like a throwback opening where he used like the old song and he kind of tried to make it more old school. I
Huh.
don't know. I mean, at the same time, it's like you do have to appreciate that every opening is unique because most channels just have like generic opening. I've seen so many times you go to a channel and their opening is like anime montage with a bunch of filters over it and rap. and that's their opening. And then their outro is like, anime profile pic with like rap in the background, and that's their outro.
Or
And,
like big block letters and
Yeah,
huge
yeah.
EDM banger.
Yeah, and then like the letters are like beatboxing to like the rap audio thing.
Yeah, it's like pulsing towards the screen.
Yeah, I see that. I see that so much. That's one thing I can at least say is I'm not seeing any of that in AVGN. AVGN plus rap sounds like a combination from hell. Sounds just nah.
I don't see the nerd. I don't know about James Rolfe, but I really don't see the nerd enjoying rap.
Yeah, it just like it just
like,
conflicts because the nerd is kind of edgy because he like swears and is like very vulgar, which you would think would work with rap, but he's also like a nerd. He's also this kind of like misanthropic, strange type.
Totally. And I mean, whenever he references music, it's always like heavy metal. It's always like Metallica or Black Sabbath or something.
Yeah, and that seems to make sense. It seems like the nerd probably would just be like a metal and video game music guy.
It's pretty much like basement dwelling shit.
Yeah, like, it is what it is. The nerd is edgy, but he's not. He is a nerd, He's not an edgelord, but he is edgy.
He's still wearing like the pocket protector shirt.
I know. Well, no, so much shit, and I love that.
You fucking motherfucker, pieces of shit.
There's shit all over the place.
He's so passionate in this one.
This is like my favorite part, where he points out the patterns. I love
yeah.
Let's try another stage. He's just trying any of them. And he can't beat any of them.
I know, he's done that before, too, like in the Castlevania episodes. Yeah. He drew like the Medusa head patterns.
Yeah,
I love that part.
I love all these areas are dead zones. I love that because he puts it in context really well for you, just like how insane this is.
Yeah, it's a weird way of looking at it. Because like I've played lots of Gradius 3, and that's an interesting way of thinking like, oh, just all these spots are death zones.
Yeah, because it actually is good on like a review level because it actually communicates to you really well why it's so hard.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the good part is you have this kind of like this good analysis, which I love that. Let me just imagine I pull this maze to the left. It's a simple thing, but it would piss you off a lot. Honestly, it would.
Yeah.
But the fact he has the angry rants, like before he was like, "Oh, like this fucking shit, I can't believe it." But then he goes into this mode. This is really where I love this like insane angry rant combined with like logical analysis.
Right.
Which is, I think I actually tried that once. I actually tried Zelda 1, Can't Touch the Walls, and it's horrible, man. That
sounds horrific. There's a lot of parts where pathways are made out of walls. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, because you have all those.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that. That is beautiful. That's beautiful. That's such an old school moment. Because it's perfect. It's the perfect encapsulation. And he's like, oh my fucking god. It's like, yeah, dude. That's where we're at.
He really identifies with the game over screen. I love it.
Well, the thing is, it's not even game over. Every time you die, you see it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what it... Yeah, every time you die, you see it. Because I actually watched the James and Mike Mondays on this, and I think Bootsy was able to actually, like, beat it, because he can play the hard games.
Huh.
I think because Bootsy, I think he's beaten this. He's beaten the Back to the Future 3 on Sega Genesis. Yeah, you can see those on James and Mike Mondays. Those are.
I never watched that series. Are there any that are like worth it?
There are a couple highlights. I probably need to like make a playlist of the actual like pretty good ones. Yeah, Back to the Future 3 is pretty good. Jekyll and Hyde's great. The Atari Jaguar CD is pretty good. But there's like, I think like 300 of them or something at this point. They come out all the time, so. It's like some sort of fucking joke. Silver Surfer is pathetic. Silver Surfer sucks. I know nothing about Silver Surfer, but from what I can tell from this, he's pretty lame.
He's all right. He's
I
pretty
just pissed
cool.
shit over this fucking game.
Anal evacuation.
Uh,
That's a classic one.
Yeah, I love that. That is a classic rant. This is actually a great one. This is a great one, man.
That was a good episode.
Yeah, because honestly, yes, going out on a good note. But that was better than I remembered actually. Because again, I remembered the kind of like editing flaws. And I used to, when I was younger, I used to be like, eh. Now I see it as like, it is what it is. I see it as like part of the appeal. But those were some good rants. That was all great. That was all really good. So
yeah, that's better than I remember.
Yeah,
I think that's the first really good classic episode I've seen. Well, maybe. I don't know. Bible Games is really good.
Yeah, Bible Games is good. Sega CD and 32X are really good, but I think they're kind of more. They didn't have as good a rants. That was basically a collection of good rants, and then him breaking down the game. That's pretty much what it was, and both of those were great. That was really good. I actually really liked that. So probably one day I'll just have to do a thing where I like rank every AVGN game because every AVGN video because you just have to do insane rankings.
So the next few are Die Hard, Independence Day, and The Simpsons. I can't remember if any of those are good.
Simpsons is good. Die Hard is good. Independence Day is kind of eh.
Okay, we can watch Die Hard next then.
Alright. Die Hard's good. Die Hard's actually a classic one.
I only saw it once. Amazingly, because I know it's like a classic. It's part of the intro.
Yeah.
The blowing up scene.
Yeah, that's right. That's one of his like promo things for a while. Like you would just go for promo images on the Nerd, and that was one of the images. So on 44.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, count me in.
1, 2, 3, go. Welcome. I'm Spaghetti Kid.
I am Chrono7654.
And today you can live free or die hard. And, interruption mode, but, that's fine. That's fine.
It's the mood for today.
No, that's how it goes. No. Well, it's like, when you are doing, like, an internet call thing, you're always going to interrupt each other. It's just how it goes. I mean, exactly. if you only have 2 people, you try and avoid it. If you have, like, 4 or 5 people, then, half the call is interruptions, but...
yeah. Especially when you're not looking at each other.
Mm-hmm. But, you try to, like, watch the video, and it's... whatever, but... Well, because I remember last time, half the time, I wasn't even, like, looking at it. I was just, like, talking, and I wasn't looking at it, so I'm trying to look at it now. It's kind of,
I know, I feel bad because I've been so distracted watching the video.
Well, sometimes, like, it's tough to just watch and, like, speak alongside. Okay, yeah. This intro is actually really great. Because obviously when I was a kid, I had no clue what this was about. Okay, that's a good pause, man. He's pausing for a while.
It's a good face too.
Yeah, he is one of the best ever with facial expressions. I have to say, he's really good with it.
Definitely.
Disturbing nature of the cover. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, granted, I see that. It reminds me of actually, there is a part in the Mario Brothers movie where you can actually see 2 destroyed twin towers, which is really ironic. But
damn.
Yeah, Mario Brothers movie is clairvoyant.
It is all knowing. It is ever seeing.
Well, you have that, and you have the whole like Guile theme goes with everything scene coming from that too. Have you seen that?
I didn't know that.
The very first Guile theme goes with everything is the part where Mario goes into the like Bowser dimension, like the city. There's this there's this weird scene where he like flies through the wall, and then it's like Bob Hoskins for like a minute just like flying through this like weird color dimension. This like weird acid trip dimension. And that's where the first Gal theme goes and everything comes from. You could look it up, and it's just like
Wow.
Gal theme goes to
I can already see it in my head. That works so well.
on Bob Hoskins just
so
like flying
good.
through this acid trip.
That's a weird fucking movie, man.
It is.
That is
It's
strange.
interesting. Yeah. It's funny because like Bob Hoskins and whatnot, but it's tough to say. Like I used to be like, oh, that movie isn't good, and then I was like, we enjoy it for the meme, and now I'm like, it's got its problems, but we love it for what it is.
Exactly. I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, like, would you honestly want it to be legitimately good? Like the epic story of Mario and Luigi going into the like whatever. And you wouldn't want it to be like like you wouldn't want it to be like cheap and have like these like no-name actors who aren't memorable. It's got like Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo and what was
Dennis
it?
Hopper.
That's right. You know, it's got like good actors in it playing this ridiculous movie. You have to appreciate it, honestly, because it's something that could never happen today.
Totally. And it's like, I mean, first of all, Yoshi.
Don't remind me, dude. Don't remind me. Dude.
Secondly, mustard and ketchup suits. Pimpin'.
Oh, you're bringing me back, dude. You're
Top pimpin', man.
Oh, pimpin', dude. Yeah, well, it's the great pimpin' scene where he bites her tit. Like, you know, he goes in.
Right.
Big Bertha.
Oh, I forgot Big Bertha turned from a fish to a woman.
Yeah, she turns into like a bouncer, like woman in like the nightclub scene. She's like this big black woman, and you know, Bob Hoskins goes in for the nib, literally. I can't believe they made that scene.
So fucking strange.
Yeah, it's so weird. I mean, granted, actually, I heard the visual planner for it. The guy behind the art direction for it is apparently the guy from the what is it? The oh god, 2049 future movie. What is it? I only got like 3 hours of sleep today, so I'm on major brain fart mode. Why can't I remember it? Blade Runner. Ugh. Blade Runner.
Oh.
Yeah,
wow.
guy who did the art direction for Blade Runner did the direction for Mario Brothers movie.
That's very interesting.
That is interesting, but that's where it gets that look from, because it has a very weird, dark look. It's not really all that like colorful and happy, honestly.
It's not at all. It's very dystopian. It's like steampunk.
Yeah, that's what it is. All this like electricity going around and the fungus and whatnot.
Steampunk Mario is such a bonkers idea.
Yeah, and you have like the jumping shoes and whatnot. I mean, I will say, it does have cool iconic elements. Like, I will say, when I was like 8 years old watching it for the first time on like cable, I got kind of hyped when I saw them actually in like the Mario and Luigi outfits for the first time. I was like,
that's fair.
Yeah, and they do like the high five to each other, and I'm like, yeah, okay. It's goofy, it's insane. They would never be able to do it today, but I appreciate it because it's one of those things where I think it probably like maybe it scarred Miyamoto or something. He saw it and he said never again. But I appreciate it because it's so weird and it's so unique, and it is a tough thing. Imagine, because the cartoons I think did a good job. Like, because James Rolfe did actually do a review of the Mario Brothers movie. I think he did a good job talking about it. And it is a good question. How would you look at Mario Bros on NES? Taking all the coins and hitting Bowser and whatnot. How would you adapt that into a feature-length movie? Because it's like a 2 hour and a half long movie and whatnot. And I guess that's how they did it.
You know, the guys who made Despicable Me are apparently making a Mario movie.
Yeah, it's like, the one thing with Mario is there's two ways Mario's been adapted. There was the American cartoons, which we love for meme value, and also because, honestly, I think they actually did like a pretty good job of making Mario into like a kid's show.
They're entertaining, man.
Yeah, like, you know, I think the voices are good, like, oh, brother!
The animation is terrible.
Yeah, but that's what you expect with 80s cartoons and whatnot. I'm not watching He-Man expecting God tier animation. I'm not watching.
I don't watch He-Man, period.
I'm not watching the 70s Transformers and expecting A-class budget. But
It's true. It's true.
yeah, it's fun that it's cheap. It's what you expect. But I think the voices are good. I think the concepts are fine. I mean, the CDI games took it to the limits of what can be done, but the CDI is the definition of so bad it's good. But
True.
okay, so one thing I should actually bring up about Die Hard, because that's what this review is. I've actually seen Die Hard a couple times, and I do love it.
So good.
I actually like that they have the glass hurt your feet, and you have like a foot meter. Your feet have health.
Yeah.
Because if you've seen Die Hard, his feet get really messed up in that movie.
Oh yeah, that's a big part.
Yeah, this game's big ass.
I like how obviously it's overdubbed.
Well,
The audio.
it's louder than it's really loud. Like, yeah, there we go.
It's also like crystal clear.
Yeah, jumping past explosions. I mean, that's actually very fitting of what Die Hard is, though. That explosion clip of him. Oh yeah, that's so old school. That is just classic AVGN right there. This whole thing right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, insert my nostalgia goggles. That's classic, dude. It is. That's really great stuff. But
that's a classic for him.
Yeah, he just put in that kind of like edgy music. It's kind of funny because Die Hard, what they play throughout that whole movie is like Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, like Ode to Joy. They play that throughout the whole movie in like all these different variations. Because it's kind of funny, that song has around like 4 different kind of sections. And Die Hard, basically, they'll do a thing where in the beginning they give you like just the first section, and then midway through they'll basically kind of like slowly play it and hype it up, and at the end it gives you like the ending where it's all like, and it's like, it's actually really cool how they do it. I really like
Die Hard is brilliant.
Yeah, Die Hard, best Christmas movie? ?
It's a good argument. It's a really good argument. Die Hard.
I know people don't consider it a Christmas movie, but I know people don't consider it a Christmas movie, but
which is stupid. They should.
Yeah, it is. 100%. It is. It's got enough. It's set in Christmas. You got a couple Santa hats you see in like the very beginning, and
there's a part where he writes "ho ho ho" in blood. Are you kidding me? It's Christmassy as you get.
Yeah, it's blood. It's red. It's Santa's red. It's enough, right?
It's on a winter sweater. Like, come on.
Yeah, I think they even end with literally like, "Oh, Merry Christmas." I think that's literally like the end of the movie. It's a Christmas movie. And
yeah, they end with "Let It Snow." That's the credits.
Yeah,
like,
it is a Christmas movie.
It's absolutely.
The debate is over.
I don't think there ever should have been a debate. People should always see it as a Christmas movie. It's silly.
I think it's just because like that movie is. It's not a Christmas movie for the kids, but at least not for the kids when they're like 5 years old. Maybe when they're like 10 years old, then maybe you can start. There was a lot of blood in that movie. There was a lot of blood in that movie.
It's even beyond blood. It's just like the concepts are violent. Like there's a part where he puts a man on a meat hook.
Yeah. Like that's the thing. Yeah.
Well, there's like the part where the one guy's getting executed, and instead of showing it, they like zoom out and show the window pane, and then they show his brain splatter onto it, and it's like, fuck, that's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Good. What's the word? Not shooting, but well shot.
Oh yeah. Well, it's great because it's like a Christmas summer movie. That's probably what I would say. You put that on, and it always puts me in a good mood because there is like the gore violence element. But I also just love the editing and whatnot. I love how the scenes are shot. Again, I love how they use like the music in that because it's subtle, but like when you actually know the piece, it's like you respect it a lot because there was a lot of thought that went into that.
Mm-hmm. The pacing and writing are impeccable in that movie. Like there's never a moment wasted. There's always interesting things.
Oh yeah, the writing is excellent, especially from the cop. Who's like talking to him and whatnot.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I'm here for you, man. I love you, man." It's like that's
those two. Their relationship is actually my favorite part of that whole movie.
Yeah, honestly, just it's actually like wholesome. I'll actually say it. Like, 'cause he's like, I love you, man. I'm here for you, man. I
Totally. It's very human because, like, if you were that cop and you came across that kind of situation, that's, what would you do? It's really rare. It's probably real emotional.
well, yeah, because they're like, it's this situation where you have like the terrorists in the building, and they're like, who's fighting this? And he's like, one man, and he's like, you gotta help this guy. It's like, you gotta help. You gotta believe him. He's in there. He's still alive. And
It's awesome, man.
yeah, it's great. It's great.
It makes John Wayne into, like, the new Santa Claus. It's great.
I think that actually happens. I mean, I've never seen any of the sequels. I've only seen the first one. But
I fell asleep to the second one time. I've never watched them all, though.
it sounds like
I've heard
something that
it's
didn't need to have a sequel, but it does because money.
It has 5.
Yeah, like there are some things where I think the sequels are kind of warranted. Like I think Friday the 13th is fine having that insane amount of follow-ups, but Die Hard I don't think needed to have any follow-ups to it.
No, because, like, Friday the 13th isn't something you take very seriously to begin with. So
Yeah.
it's not like there's a name to tarnish. It's not like it's like the Saw series. Like, of course there's just going to be another Saw movie. You expect it.
Yeah. More so like that. Like Halloween. Halloween is one of those things where the sequels aren't necessarily bad, but if you just leave it at the first one, then there's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely, you're missing nothing there.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th needs its sequels. Or no, sorry. Nightmare on Elm Street needs its sequels, definitely.
Yeah, well, the third one is debatable.
The third one's insane.
The third one's insane.
I don't think it's not as good as the first. The third one is not a good horror movie, but it's a great, just fucking fun time. The first movie is a legitimately great horror movie, though.
Mm-hmm. What's the great thing is because it's one of the it's that thing where the guy's in your dreams, so you can't explain it to anyone. No one's going to believe you. So
it's a good premise.
Like Friday the 13th. Yeah, one thing I'll say about Friday the 13th is compared to all the rest of them, the first movie is the least iconic compared to like Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween. Because the Jason that is like actually known is actually the one from like the third one and after.
Mm-hmm.
In the
it's
first
his mother in the first one, right?
Yeah, it's his mother. Jason is in the first one, but he's at like the very end where like she's like on the boat and she got away, and then like the corpse of like Jason as a kid comes up and like rips her under the water. That's how the first one ends, but it's actually like a dream. It should have just ended there. It would have been perfect if it ended there because it's a total shock moment. But then the second one he has like the potato bag thing on his head or whatever, and it's only in the third one where he actually gets like the hockey mask thing.
I see.
So that's why I say like Friday the 13th. It's like there's not really a story being told there, but I think it has the best reason to go on. But
definitely, I think that and Nightmare are the two that have the best excuse because like those are meant. The whole point is to see creative ways of people getting killed, basically. And those are two exceptionally creative characters and ways of bringing that out, especially Freddy, because the dream thing obviously leaves infinite possibilities. But like one thing that really fucked me up in the first Friday the 13th is the part where he's laying down and the arrow gets twisted through his chest.
Oh yeah,
man, it's a brutal scene too because you don't see what happens at first. You're like, why is he in shock? Obviously he's dead, but how? And then it just starts twirling out. It's like, ugh, disturbing.
Yeah, like I would say for me, Halloween is kind of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where I think it's just better if it's just its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the whole thing with Halloween, the reason the original Halloween is scary for me is because Michael Myers is like a nobody. He's like a no-name. He could be anyone. Mm-hmm. He's just some dude. That is what is actually scary about it. He's not Michael Myers, the like monster Godzilla guy who gets, set on fire and lives. He's
not the ghost of some kid who was murdered. He's just a crazy guy.
Or whatever they make up, the whole like, they make up some weird like satanic like legend where he like had sex with his niece or something, and like some insane stupid thing. For me, it's way better when Michael Myers is just no one. He's he's like anonymous. He's literally just anyone can be anonymous. Anyone can be Michael Myers. I think that's a way more intimidating thing.
And you see like the flashbacks, and it's not like in Nightmare on Elm Street. I think it's a priest got raped or something like that. In Halloween, and that's so fucking dramatic. In Halloween, it's literally just like this kid was born and he just happened to be the fucked up kid. I mean, I think he had a fucked up childhood. I can't remember.
I don't think they really say much about him in the first one. Like, I think there's a scene where you see him get his mask, I think. I'm getting the ones confused. I don't remember if in the first one he just shows up out of nowhere or if there's an introduction for him.
He shows up, but they do explain his backstory a little, because the deputy or whoever the police guy is looking for him knows about his childhood and knows.
Yeah. That's right. So it's pretty much like word of mouth. Yeah, I don't think you get like yeah, and that's better. That's better. I
think so.
Yeah, because it's the case where the less you know, the more effective it is. Michael Myers becomes more and more lame as they talk more about him. Like in the second one, there was something to it. Because in the second one, he gets like set on fire, and it's like in this hospital. It's more of a like personal thing. Because in the first one, he just kills random people. In the second one, I think he's specifically going for the girl. I don't remember her name is, but he's specifically like trying to kill her. But then he gets like set on fire and like blown up, and he still comes back somehow, and they never really explain that. It seems like in the second one, they were really trying to like conclude it. They didn't want it to like blow up that much, because the third Halloween movie has nothing to do with Michael Myers. It's like a totally different.
It's an anthology, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be just Halloween, the alternate. We'll just make up a new story every time thing, which I think would have been way better. Just a scary Halloween story. Like on Halloween, some people are just crazy and they go out murdering people and whatnot. And you can make a very like disturbing story about that. Like, kids going out on Halloween and some guy going out to like kill them or something. That's like really disturbing. But
the Michael Myers mask sold money. So
that's what it is. That became the brand of it. So they couldn't escape it. Yeah, it's the case where it's, if you have an anthology, own it. Like I didn't think I'd use this example, but JoJo's. With JoJo's, like Jotaro is like the face of JoJo's. He's like the most well-known JoJo, from part 3 and whatnot. But Araki, made sure he would only be the main character in part 3. He didn't milk that character and just totally make. Oh well, you like Jotaro? Well, it's the Jotaro series now. No, he keeps it. He keeps each part has its own JoJo, and he keeps it that way.
I way prefer, and this extends beyond just TV shows, when creators consistently try to set a new standard instead of like playing by a standard. Because what I see happen, like a great example is Eminem. I know you don't focus on rap music, but Eminem, his first few albums were amazing, groundbreaking, set a lot of rules for just what mainstream rap is. And now he's trying so hard to please everybody, he keeps making garbage after garbage after garbage. And instead of trying to set some sort of new precedent to make other people look to, he's trying to just say, he's looking at the precedent now and going, what can I make out of this? And I way prefer when they keep trying to move forward and find new grounds and find new things to do. Like Tyler, the Creator, is a rapper who never does the same thing twice. And even though he keeps gaining success off of like new things he does, he keeps moving on to other things. And because he's so passionate about moving forward, he keeps making more and more hits. So like, I think if JoJo season 5 comes out right, we could have a Joe that's even more iconic than Jotaro. You know what I mean? Just because he's so passionate about looking forward and making something new.
Mm-hmm. Well, JoJo's has the anime is up to the 5th part. In the manga, they're on part 8. But
I see.
that's what I respect. That's actually something I really respect about JoJo, is that Araki is willing to just totally change things up. That's one thing you'll actually see. Is if you look at like JoJo Part 1 and then look at like JoJo Part 5, it looks like totally different. You know,
Mhm.
like you go ahead on parts, and the way the characters look, the way they're designed, it's very different. You know, like even the most basic things, like old JoJo is like very 1980s. They got like the insane buff, ripped look,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But you know, over time, he's honestly they're not ripped anymore. They're pretty lean now, and it's this different look. Araki is actually, his art is actually so well respected in Japan that they actually have like art conventions showing his art off with like other top level stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, which no one else has really gotten like that much respect for their art individually as a manga artist. So that's how much he's respected for what he's done. And
That's pretty intense.
yeah, and it is kind of funny though when you see like Araki like draw old characters now. If you see Araki draw Jotaro now, man, there's some abs missing. It's there's things have changed. Things have changed. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny.
So, did you want to do the Simpsons episode?
Sure. Simpsons it's one that's like really interesting, but it's not really like one of my favorites, but it's an interesting one.
I can't even remember if it's good or not, but I'm still down.
Yeah, it's good. It's just well, I guess we'll see. I mean, Silver Surfer was better than I expected. I was going in thinking that was going to be like kind of like good, all right. That was great. That was really good.
Yeah, I thought that was just gonna be another episode, but that was actually really solid. The Simpsons is 125.
Okay.
Episode 30.
Yeah, that's
This has
one
been
thing.
a lot of fun.
That's one thing we'll probably have to avoid is the Atari porn episode.
Yeah, or not. I mean, re-uploads of it don't get takedown, so maybe.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. He doesn't have it uploaded, but I know other people have it uploaded.
It is a pretty funny episode.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not even sure if it's on this website though, but I wouldn't know. But I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen that one in a long time.
Me neither. It's
Yeah.
been really fun going through all these old episodes with you, though.
That's great because it's something we kind of didn't really do much. Is like I got into like AVGN later, so we would kind of like talk about it a little bit. We never really like watched it together much, so it's good to talk about it. Yeah, there was one comment actually I did see that complained that we whined too much.
About what?
About AVGN now. Apparently, we whine too much about AVGN not being as good now.
Damn. Sucks to suck, I guess.
Yeah. Although there was another guy who was like, "Hey, this is chill and cool." That was on the BitChute one actually, because I upload them on YouTube and I upload them on BitChute just in case.
Interesting. I've never even heard of that. BitChute.
Oh, it's basically like a YouTube alternative kind of thing. Yeah, basically it's like for people who got censored off YouTube. That's pretty much what it's for. So, yeah. So you have like a lot of like controversial things on there, but you also have other just regular stuff. So that's pretty much what it is. Just like a YouTube alt. So I upload it on there just in case, because you never know with YouTube nowadays.
Seattle police crackdown on shoplifting, 53 arrested in one day. Right beside, rap roasting SJWs goes viral and tops iTunes. Holy fuck. Oh, it's Tom McDonald. God, Tom McDonald makes some gross music.
What I find actually, it's a lot of like There are a lot of like political people who got censored. Nothing I find on there a lot for some reason is wrestling stuff. I don't know why. I see
Huh.
I see a lot of people they do like reactions to like wrestling videos, and that's what I see a lot on like BitChute. Whenever I go on BitChute, main things I see is like political things and like wrestling for some reason.
I'm seeing satanic rituals. Should all humans on Earth be killed? Roger Waters says "fuck you" to Mark Zuckerberg. There's crazy shit on this website.
But yeah, because it's meant to be basically a we won't censor you, say what you want kind of thing. So
Yeah.
you can search up a bandit account on it, and you'll probably find it.
Let me check. Hilarious. I had no clue what this even was. Ricky Berwick is on here. That's cool. He's hilarious. Yeah, there it is. Bible Games 3. Let's watch from a month. 57 views. Damn.
It's actually more popular on BitChute than it is on YouTube, surprisingly.
Go us. Damn.
Yeah, it's going up, but I'm actually going on it right now just to see.
Even Random Discussion 3 has 33 views.
Not bad. That's
Not bad at all.
Let's see if I can find it. I'm on my BitChute thing now. I'm subscribed to it, so okay, I'll go there. Oh, yeah? Okay. 8 subscribers? Well, that's 2 more than last time, I think. So that's good.
Woo! Our BitChute channel is killing it.
Yeah, not
a
bad.
sentence I thought even existed.
916 views total. Huh. My channel actually has more total views. My channel on BitChute has over 1,000 total views. But the Abandoned Account channel has more subscribers. My BitChute channel has 4 subscribers, so.
MF Doom.
Ah, yeah.
Oh man, I was watching so many of those fucking edits. I think I've seen them all.
Well, that's how it goes when you find things like that.
It's beautiful. I'm MF Doom. He's MF Doom. We're both MF Doom. I love it. Get out of here, you fake ass bastards.
Yeah, what was the one that had a comment on it? I think it was the Ghostbusters one had a comment. And it was a positive comment. 2 likes. This is too much. Culture is eating itself at an accelerating rate, but I'm watching lols. And I just said, very happy you enjoyed. So.
Yeah, man.
Well, that's good. So, that's going. That's what that's looking like. So, I just upload that. So, I upload them on YouTube and on BitChute as a backup. But surprisingly, the backup is doing better than YouTube.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to send people the BitChute link. Get it really popped off.
Yeah,
So get it to the top of the pages.
That'll be good. Well, I mean, there's not really much like commentary stuff on there because, especially like anime stuff. There's not much anime stuff on there because they are pretty much as strict as YouTube is with like copyright of like anime clips and whatnot. So, not much people actually do anime. So.
It looks like the highest like viewed videos on the front page are only around 2,000, which seem kind of reasonable.
Yeah, because it's I don't know how. I think it's as old as like 2018 or something, but it's a it's like a YouTube alternative. But hey, if we're getting half to 100, mine are like averaging at 50 over here. A little bit more. So, I mean, I always post here as well. So, I just post on BitChute and on YouTube. So,
we'll keep it coming. It might be our fucking ticket to fame, apparently.
Well, the thing is, it's that's the good thing is like you can get popular on YouTube, but YouTube just sacks anyone they feel like for whatever reason at this point. Even if we tried to be nice about it, you never know who's going to screw you on YouTube at this point. Some
100%.
some spiteful copywriter or some weird community guidelines thing you never heard of. They just basically nuke everyone for whatever reason. Unless they're like the hyper popular ones, then they'll maintain them. But you know,
Hmm.
but yeah, so it actually is. I mean, the funny thing about it actually is BitChute actually does have a better donation system than YouTube. I actually hear that
Huh.
if you're popular on BitChute, you actually get more money on average than you do from YouTube. So,
Interesting. We
I mean,
might
hey,
have to do
eh,
we might have to do some movie commentaries on Vimeo.
sure, sure. Well, I mean, like what I was doing with the anime is I basically did it the same way Brain Scratch does a movie commentary. So I just upload like a stock image and just have the commentary over it. Obviously,
Okay.
that's how I do it because you just can't upload like a full anime episode without it getting
Yeah.
copyrighted. You just can't do it. Like there were people had their tricks back in the day. I tried them. What they did is they would put like a filter over it and they'd like put it in the corner and like change the audio and whatnot. I tried all those tricks. It doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. That's why actually there are a couple King of Lightning videos that got nuked because he uploaded a couple videos back in the day using the same old tricks and then they just nuked them, which is sad. One of his best videos was the Naruto vs Sasuke fight in at the end of the Shippuden anime. That's like a 40-minute reaction, and he had
I
clips in
remember
there.
that.
Yeah, that was a really good one. Had anime clips, so they had to get rid of it. So that's a really sad one, but I just don't take risks. I tried, but yeah, I think what I will do to make it more watchable is I'll put a stock image, but what I'll do is I'll put basically a really blurred picture of the video so you can just see like the basic colors to follow along, and I'll put a timer that says where we're at so it's like more like understandable, but that's kind of how it is. Because like when you see like reaction channels, what they'll do is they'll do a reaction and them talking, and then they'll show like a 10-second clip of the thing just for a little second, just to show you what's going on. But it's getting really strict nowadays. You know, it's not like it was
It
back in the day,
isn't.
dude. That's one thing actually. I remember. You remember when the best representation of the fact that these things are just different now is you remember back when you could just look up a full fight, like anime fights, like full DBZ fight. It's
Yeah.
like a 2-hour thing, 4-hour thing. You just can't find those anymore because people just can't keep them up. Now they're really
Hmm.
strict on like streaming rights and whatnot. Nowadays, um, that's it. What it is, YouTube is becoming TV. It's becoming, pay for us,
Yep.
and because the anime clips that you see, they're all from like the mainstream channels. Like, oh, Crunchyroll uploads like a 2-minute clip for you, and it's like high quality and whatnot. But then they're like, subscribe to us on Crunchyroll, pay us, and then you can watch the full thing.
Hmm.
So the Wild West is on its last legs. The railways are coming in, the old farming barns and, the old country folk. It's coming to an end, dude. It's,
We've had to migrate. We've had to go to Vimeo and BitChute.
yeah. But, yeah. Yeah, well, like, so, like, if we were to, like, to do, like, a movie commentary, I would think I would just do it, like, the brain scratch way. So, if we did, like, The Dark Knight, it would just be, like, Dark Knight, stock picture of Batman, and just the
Yeah,
whole audio. Uh,
like probably just a movie poster or something.
yeah, probably like that. Uh, yeah, it would be like a serious picture. It wouldn't be like a funny picture. If I wanted a funny picture, then I'd probably have maybe like the clip where Joker shoots Batman.
You could just have the penny clip on repeat.
honestly, honestly,
Now that I think about it, like,
um,
that might be the move.
hmm.
At least for the Batman episode.
Well, for
For
the
video.
animated series, if we did that, then we could just a stock of just like no audio. It's just our commentary. It's just flying penny on repeat. That's well, it's the cheapest way to do it. I don't need to get a unique image for each episode.
Exactly. Just make like a 2.5 hour loop in Movie Maker and export that over the audio of whatever we do.
Well, I could just turn it into a GIF and just loop it.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. So we can do that. No, but
Want to do this a Simpsons episode now?
yeah, sure. Okay. I got it
Keep
on. I
forgetting.
got it on mine. The funny thing is, when I keep
Sweet.
counting down, I keep like sometimes I say 1, 2, 3. Sometimes I say 3, 2, 1. So
Yeah. I mean, we're doing it on Go, so it's not too confusing.
yeah.
Hey, count me in.
All right. 1, 2, 3, go. Welcome. I'm Spaghetti King,
I am Chrono7654.
and I would do a Kefka laugh, but I can't. I've never been able.
Something like that.
That's better than you used to be. That's
Yeah.
it's improved. Yeah.
Fucking. It's difficult.
It's good.
He's-
Yeah, that's good. The problem is it's like deep. Like he actually, it's like like it's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you hear it, he's like but like it's like a 16-bit thing, so it's just really unique.
Yeah.
But...
It's hard to like imitate a Super Nintendo like sound.
Yeah, what it reminds me of actually is come back when you're a bit come back when you're a bit more richer. Yeah, that's what it
Some
is.
more rubies.
That sound is legendary. I can't believe that sound. That
It's like
sound
a
is
blender
amazing.
going off.
Well, like honestly, what they've been able to do, like with YouTube poops and that sound, because I mean, I remember Foul Spaghetti. You literally have like you go to the cave. It's kind of dark.
Yeah.
You watch it? It's like echoing. I love how they do that. This is quite the description here. 20 years later, open my shirt up and take a good smell.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. That's perfect, dude. That's worth clipping, man. That's worth clipping, man.
Why the fuck wouldn't they use the aliens from the Simpsons? This is just like some weird generic looking thing.
The weird thing is the aliens in the intro, you never see them again. Like you see them, and then the aliens that you see otherwise are totally different.
Okay, it's so weird.
Yeah, they're really weird aliens. Oh, what was it? For some reason, I feel like I've seen JonTron play this. For some reason.
JonTron, I don't know if he's played a lot of games that look like this, like shitty bootleg games.
Yeah, like
this looks like
maybe...
this looks like that one teddy bear anti-drug game.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, it bared a similarity. It's not actually the same, but it does look really similar because you also have the skateboard too in this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and there's like shitty buildings and sprites.
Wally Bear and the No Gang.
Yeah.
Which he did review, but we went over that because it's kind of really not worth it. The JonTron video was worth it, but
oh, the JonTron one's a classic. I was watching some more JonTron. I caught up. He's actually still pretty funny. He's making good stuff still.
Which is great. It's like with JonTron, you're never going to expect him to like go cheap on it.
Totally.
I just have
you see his Dan Aykroyd vodka video?
That sounds great. I haven't heard of that one. That sounds like gold. Last one I think I watched was Dr. Ho. I think that's the last one I watched.
That's a good one.
That was good. That was good because I've just seen a lot of Dr. Ho. Dr. Ho's, whatever. Like, it was really funny because I've just seen a lot of that in my time. It's funny that someone commented on it.
Anytime I watch JonTron, I always go back and watch the Takeshi's Challenge video. It's so good.
Yes. I think that's my favorite JonTron video.
It's honestly legendary, man. the letter writing at the end, like the joke where he's like,
Yeah, yeah.
you think this game looks hard? I started the review 2 years ago.
Uh-huh. And he like speaks Japanese like, Watashi Takeshi-san, nante desu.
He's like,
And
this
he's
game
like, why have
sucks
you done
so
this to
hard.
us?
Why did you do this?
Yeah. Nante desu, Takeshi-san. That's amazing. That's amazing.
But yeah, he did. Dan Aykroyd made some vodka in a bottle that looks like a little crystal skull.
Mm.
And there's a video where he just explains like all this spiritual and like insane things about how it connects, your fourth eye to the aliens and to the energies in the wind and shit by drinking his vodka out of a crystal skull. Like, it's nuts. It's bonkers.
Hmm. I was gonna make a pedophile lizard joke, but I'm out of them as of late.
I don't know what that means.
Oh well, there's the whole it just brings you back to the lizard men conspiracy times. I don't see those anymore, Brad. I think those are all censored too. I don't see those anymore. Maybe I can find those on BitChute. Eh? Maybe I can find some of the classics.
What, lizard people?
The like Obama Antichrist, lizard people.
Oh, totally. One sec. I'm looking this up.
All right. I mean, I got BitChute open right now, but I'll just leave that to you. So.
Obama reptile.
Oh, I'm sure you'll find it on BitChute. It's kind of old news though. Once Trump came in, everyone forgot about like every Obama meme overnight.
Whoa, this is on CNN. It says moment of transformation in Egypt.
In Egypt,
what?
Okay. I mean, we were just talking about JoJo's. That sounds like some Dio moment.
I can't believe CNN actually put this up.
CNN puts out Obama lizard transformation?
Oh, yeah, Obama, moment of transformation in Egypt.
Maybe it's like a CNN clip, and he's revealing something from the clip.
Oh, yeah, I think he's just...
Yeah, I don't think you have CNN being like, today we saw President Obama turn into like a lizard man.
But all the top comments are saying how they wanted a lizard person video.
I've just searched up Obama reptile, and I found nothing. That's weird. Obama lizard?
I see a Good Mythical Morning video on lizard people. That might be funny.
Okay, now I found 2 videos. Obama has ties with the Anunnaki or the lizard people. Description: Obama has been an evil man from period to start, space, comma, who have his ties with the Anunnaki or the lizard people. His bodyguards are the Anunnaki.
Amazing.
And some other guy, sad nerds beg Obama to stop Lizard Squad. Lizard Squad worse than ISIS, laughing my fucking ass off.
Obama passes demon sniff test, also uploaded by CNN.
Maybe it's like an ironic CNN, where it's like not actually them.
No, it's verified, man. 12.6 million subscribers. It's definitely them.
Okay, alright. I don't know what to say to that. That's okay.
The demon sniff test.
I don't know. Maybe they just did it under everyone's nose, and there was just so much, Trump coverage that no one took notice. Because all the Obama memes died once Trump came in, which kind of sucks. Because the Obama memes are really cool. I like the Obama.
There were prime Obama memes.
Yeah, the
Remember
Obama.
when he showed off his cock on a plane?
Oh man.
That's classic.
Have you ever seen We're Building Iron Man?
No.
No, it's a funny clip. I'll link that to you. That's a funny one. I actually made a Guile theme. I made a Guile theme goes with everything out of that. It's like a really cheap video that I made in like 5 minutes. I'll link my video to you for it.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah. Because back then I just got like a video editor. Well, actually I didn't even edit that one. I just got like a screen recorder, so I'm just like, what can I like just make on command and just make some random thing. So
one of the best feelings in the world is coming across a Guile theme video, and you look in the description, it says like 2 weeks ago, and you're like, fucking A, soldier.
Well, still in the game.
Salute, like, It's iconic.
Well, it's great when you see like a recent YouTube poop or something like that. When you see like a YouTube
Maggie.
poop that's like a couple days old, it's like, oh, that's fresh.
Yeah, it's even better when it's like really good because it's
Mm-hmm.
just nice to see that quality is still being pumped out. Also, Maggie, you won't help and suck my ass.
that's that's great. That's classic.
He like shoves his ass in her face. Love it.
Oh, this is the infamous Great Wall of China scene. I remember it's really funny when he talks about the Great Wall of China. I mean, when I just say China
Yeah.
now I'm reminded of like Trump memes about China.
China.
Ooh, have you seen that one video where Trump is like, whoa, 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 whoa.
I think so.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And in the video, he's just like seizing out.
It's like that at the beginning. He's like, whoa, but then it actually cuts and they like edited him talking in Chinese and he's like singing a Chinese song. And he's like
Wow.
talking Chinese. It's like really impressive. That's the Obama
Wonderful.
video. 15 views. Looking like
I remember seeing old videos, edits where he would sing a song with the trains going ching ching chong.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, all the Trump stuff is still really classic. Like all like 2016, 2017 stuff.
It was overplayed because people that those jokes just got way overdone. But man, they were classic. They were prime. Like,
Yeah, that's what it is. Well, like the thing is, it came out in like a really short time span. It was like 2016, early 2017. Like just insane amounts of content just came out, and then it kind of like slowed down. But you look at like all these Trump memes, you'll be surprised. You'll see a lot of them, and they're from like maybe a year ago, and then you see a lot of the others, and they're all from like June 2016, November 2016. They're all from like a very similar time span. A lot of them.
I still say like grab him by the pussy. That's hilarious to me.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know what is. I've never thought about that sentence even being conceived in my entire life until I heard him say it. And I was like, I don't even know how people are mad because this is just so outrageous. Like, that is such an absurd concept. Just grab him by the pussy. I get why people are mad, but it just.
Well, yeah, it's like.
So,
well, the thing is, it's
hard to take serious.
No, I get why it's funny. It's not, I try to like have some class, but it's so crazy. He literally went to like the Giga Chad moment. He just said it.
It's so beyond tasteless.
But he's just there. Honestly, that's why he's so notable. Is just think of how many things he says that you could just like quote right from your mind, right?
That's true.
Yeah, that's he made everything exciting. He made everything memorable. It's meme magic. It's meme magic. It's just like they say.
Just take a look at my fine African American friend over here.
What was it? I love Mexico. I love China. My biggest bank is in China. I love China.
I love China.
I love
China all the time.
And where do you find it? In China.
China.
Well, I mean, he has like some legit like good. Okay, this is the underwear. back to the second. That will be referenced a little bit.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's classic.
Well, those are some weird sound effects going on there, but
what was
I said? Oh, what was it? There was the what was it? It's like, tell me the last time you heard Chevrolet in Japan or whatnot, or what was it? Chevrolet versus beating out Honda or whatever. And it was. We don't have victories anymore, folks. It actually there is like impact to it. It's like that's the thing. He is a smart guy. Like people.
He's really good at triggering patriotism. Really good at it.
Yeah, he's good at that. He's good at like enunciating. Like when he goes on like a scream and like a rant, it's like really powerful. I will say that. Because there are so many like things you'll find where he just you'll find him quoting where he's like, "And we will make America great again." It's like it's a good quote, honestly.
It's just like damn, like yeah, he's He's a good speaker. He's very, for people that don't like taking the time, he's very persuasive. Uh, fucking yeah, I don't know. He's a really good speaker. I will give him that. Um, so memorable, just so fucking. I think it's easy to rip on him because he's so, not just iconic, but he's so cartoony. He's very animated. He's very loud. He's always moving with his hands and always got, just he's a very charismatic person to watch.
Like that's what it is, and this is what I've said. Whether you hate him or you love him, you'll remember it either way. That's what it is. And
100%. And that was his goal.
Yeah, that's what it was about. Because, I mean, there was the part where it's like, because there's two elements to it. There's like the narcissistic element where he probably wanted to like come in and like have like the Trump statues and be like great Imperator Donald Trump or whatever. What they call what was it? God Emperor Trump and whatnot that people were saying.
Yeah.
There was that narcissistic element, but that's kind of the element of anyone who would be trying to be a leader of a country. But there also was the element, like, because he said things that you just weren't allowed to say back then. Like, he came out and he said, they said there were weapons of mass destruction. We went in there, there were none. They knew there were none, and they lied. And he just said that, and people had not gone, that far. And they critiqued the Iraq War, but he just went on and said, yeah, they lied straight to your face. And, he said, we have these wars. This is like a serious problem. We have to get out. So it's like, that's the thing. It's like, there are a lot of people who talk him down, acting like he's crazy or he doesn't know what he's doing or, whatnot. But no, there were things he said that were, they were on point, and they were just things other people weren't saying at the time. He really changed. He changed the atmosphere of all that. He changed all the talking points basically. He really had, because his issues, because it was a very impactful thing when he came out and said, he literally said the American dream is dead. Like he said that.
Yeah, he's dramatic as fuck.
Yeah,
he's very. Yeah.
It's actually one thing I'll say is like, it is good to just go back and watch a couple like Trump speeches from like his early time in like 2016 and whatnot. Because those are like pretty impactful and pretty interesting about like everything that's going on there. But anyway, honestly,
I'm gonna watch this Obama video real quick.
It's like a 30-second thing. It's got like no audio mixing, but I made that in like 5 minutes. I made that in 5 minutes.
He's so proud. We're building Iron Man. Beautiful. Hilarious. Did you want to do any more AVGN videos?
What would be next? What do we do?
Bugs Bunny birthday blowout.
Ooh, that's a big one. I think we could probably save that one because that one in particular. That's a big one.
Yeah.
It's not as big as it's not as big as Crazy Castle. But
after that is Atari porn as well.
Yeah, it would be because that's like 33. So.
Then after that is Nintendo Power. That's a great fucking 3 in a row.
Yeah.
That's just bangers.
That's the thing with Atari porn. I don't remember. I remember the images of it, but I don't remember much of what he said.
I think a lot of it is just him pointing out like shit happening.
Yeah, like from what I remember, he's literally just like, yeah, well, you're just in this situation where, you have those games are so
jerk
insane.
off on the roof.
Yeah, jerking off on the roof. And then there's the same game, but it's like witches.
Milking her titties.
Yeah, and it's like,
Ah.
man, like,
It's beautiful.
I mean, hey, at least Miyamoto created some kind of like quality standard over here. You can't just do this, you know.
Yeah.
You know, because back then they would literally just make literal advertiser video games like the Kool-Aid video game and whatnot, where it's literally just a non-game. It's just like, you know, hey, you know, here's like my cereal game. And those games, it's like, I mean, granted, back then most games were put together by like 5 people. You know, it's like one programmer and like one marketer and like one licensor, and you know, back then. So, I mean, you could do that back then, but oh man, that those, I mean, they're not hard. It's not hard to believe that those existed because what is the rule? Like everywhere you look, there's going to be porn of it or something. There's some kind of principle.
If something exists, there's porn on the internet of it.
Yeah, something like that. I think that's like Rule 34's old slogan, actually.
Well, there's this page that actually is like the 100 rules of the internet, and number 34 is that. That's where the website gets the name. If it exists, there's porn of it.
Yeah, because I remember that used to be the old slogan. Rule 34 now, you don't really. Well, I haven't been on Rule 34 in a long time, actually. I haven't.
Me neither.
Yeah, because you know, once I quit, I never been there. It's it's been a while since I even mentioned it. I have a couple things.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I have a couple things I can remember. But I mean, hey, the homepage was at least innocent. It was just that green search thing.
Until they added a half-naked anime girl to it. She was in like a bikini or something.
That was part of the old one. The old one had that. Then they got rid of it for a while.
I thought there was also like anime girls holding up the number of posts they had on the website.
I think there was. Well, this is gonna be in my internet history now, but I'm just gonna take a look-see, and we'll see. I mean, it's been forever. It's been maybe 2 years. Paheel.net, same browser.
Fuck, I forgot about the shitty ass. Huh?
For legal reasons, we need to point out this site contains materials not suitable for minors. Click here if you're an adult. I am an adult this time. Okay, that's like a porn advertisement at the bottom, but the actual picture of itself is, yeah, it's just the anime girls holding up the numbers, but they aren't naked. They're like cat girls. So, yeah. Okay, that's old school. Still looks pretty much like it did when I was a baby boy.
Well, pretty much.
Yeah. At least some things don't change. I mean, 4chan still looks ancient, and, you know, I used to not like it for that, but some things need to just stay.
Yeah, could you imagine? I don't use 4chan anymore, but could you imagine if it looked different?
No, it has to look the way it is. I mean, granted, well, the thing is, Rule 34 and 4chan actually kind of have similar origins because they were originally internet chat rooms to talk about anime, and then they evolved into what they became.
Interesting. I knew that about 4chan. I didn't know that about Rule 34.
It was. I think it was actually originally like a Korean, like anime chat room, something like that. And then apparently an American like got ownership of it or something. And then apparently all the Koreans started like putting porn on it. So then he just converted it into that. I think that's the story.
Hilarious.
Yeah, because I think 4chan is similar. 4chan, I think, was you had like an American one, and then you had like a Japanese one. And
the Japanese one's 8chan, I believe.
Yeah. Well, no, there was an original Japanese one, and what happened is that the American one and the Japanese one like merged, and they became like the modern 4chan. But that was in like 2011 or something like that, like ancient or whatever. I think so. I don't really know. I never really was on 4chan. Like, I just wasn't. Which a lot of people are kind of shocked by, but I just never really went on there.
It's not. I don't think it's your kind of place. It's not really. It's not really worth it. It's as far as I can tell, it's for people that don't have aspirations in life, and I can tell you do.
That sounds like a pretty good description for everything I've seen.
it's really accurate. It's the only times I go on, it's usually just for like just to see like what the fuck's going on. Like I'll check out Robot R9K, which is R9K is basically like incel haven. Like, let's see here. Either incel haven or just like depression posting. It's a fucking weird place. They are so perfect. Stacy just can't compete. Femcells live in my mind rent free. Too bad I'm not Chad. Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
It's funny when it's not ironic and it's people actually saying it.
I know. It's just. Are you okay? What does this question mean? Am I being made fun of? Why do people always ask me this whenever I go anywhere? Man.
Okay. I'm on 4chan, and the first advertisement I see on 4chan is a porn advertisement.
It's a picture of a weasel stuck inside a toilet paper tube, and it says, "How do you know if you're slipping into schizophrenia?" Holy fuck.
Let's see. Let's start with anime and manga.
That's usually tame stuff. The crazy stuff is usually in the miscellaneous boards, like random or /B, politically incorrect, R9K. Those are the crazy places. The others are actually surprisingly like good image boards.
Okay.
Like
yeah.
I used to use the music one actually for music recs. It's not that bad.
Okay, this is so far anime and manga is pretty wholesome. Trigun references, Mr. Popo jokes, R.I.P. Miura, yeah, sad guts not JPEG, yeah, okay. Some.
Why does the rest of the site hate Mew so much? Even the really shit ones make fun of us.
Okay, so let's go to a more controversial one. Is poll still a thing? I remember.
Yes, politically incorrect.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's where I was thinking of going first. Cause I've been there before, but.
Oh geez, if you don't want to see dick, don't go to poll. It's the first post. Wow. Jeez. It's a post asking for help from straight people to bully gays. Jesus fuck.
All right. Thou shalt not commit logical fallacies.
And then the post right after is a little girl playing the recorder, and it just says toot 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 toot.
Plato, Socrates, Aristotle. Okay, that's actually interesting.
Very politically incorrect. Actual Jew here, born and raised New York. Ask me anything. Okay.
Check the catalog before posting. Okay, okay. Very sexually explicit over here. Okay, woman, could you stop being transphobic? Sounds like you're in the wrong place if you're asking that. Most Anons are more pro-good mental health rather than transphobic. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's kind of like an ironic thing. Sounds like he's like referencing the trans suicide rate or something. But
I love farting. Thank you.
Jabba the Hutt, but it's Trump.
The most insane one is random. That's where the
you have
where things go to die.
You have the archaeological picture of Jesus, not the traditional one. Polish bridge. Okay, a Polish bridge. Making good men better since time immemorial. Which progressives do you think are based? Jimmy Dore, Russell Brand, Avi Martin, Tulsi Gabbard, Glenn Greenwald?
Oh yeah, they're fairly far right on /poll as well.
Well, I know. I probably wouldn't call it. I probably wouldn't call any of them based myself, but I don't know.
Fucking based. I hate it. I used to like that term too, but I had a friend who said it way too much because he was on 4chan all the time.
Yeah, it can be good. That's what it is. Like everything in reserve. Like
Exactly.
if I said based, it would have a lot of impact, but most people would just spam it. Doesn't have impact.
Yeah.
That's what
I
it
love
is.
the term because like it actually started with a rapper named Lil B, the based god, and
Uh,
his whole philosophy was just like be yourself and enjoy being yourself, and that's being based. And like enjoy when other people enjoy being themselves. That's all it means. And then it turned into the whole internet thing.
yeah, all the ads are like porn. They're like all pornography.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
the only thing that gets that gives them a chance on 4chan.
International/random. Let's see.
Oh, banned. That's not bad. I mean, it's more crazy shit, but it's less harmful than poll.
Okay. Kimono girls. I wish I
Wish
had
I had an
AC in my
AC.
room right now. The temp becomes unbearable. Your
Brown
reaching
cat
age.
girlfriend. I love farting.
Big yikes! I was made by Heckin' Stardust that existed 8 billion years ago. You midwit.
Diddy under the effects of the disease. See if you can find a picture of Diddy Kong.
Gay reversal therapy, ultra based edition. Stare into the pussy, let it consume you. Think of all the colors, shapes, and sizes. So many flavorful juices and tasty
Juices and
fragrances.
tasty fragrances.
Imagine all the different textures of pussy out there. How cool is it that they even have different hairstyles?
Holy shit.
And that's
Kill the
gay
homosexual
therapy.
parasite.
That's gay therapy. So I guess the
Yeah, that'll
gays.
work. Just look at it.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I don't really, think of like the pussy and be like, oh man, pussy, dude. Like,
Finally, pussy.
I just don't. Seems to be a bit more of a boomer thing. I hear boomers saying that. A couple boomers have
I'm
said
more
that
of a
to me.
I'm more of a tits guy. Tits are
Ugh,
patrician.
ugh, ugh. Well, if I have to respond, I remember 28X asked me this years ago too. I remember I was actually asked this, and I was like asking this in the comments section. He's like, "Yo, tits or ass?" And I'm like, "Short girls." And that's what I said.
Interesting. Short girls.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said.
Well, what do you prefer, boobs or the butt?
Hmm, I don't know. I just don't know. I just can't rate it. I didn't know then, and I had to force myself, and I don't know. It's like, well, it's kind of funny because I remember. Let's see. Probably I would say visually I prefer bigger boobs, but I'm someone who would probably prefer to actually take small boobs on a personality
Mm.
level. Because actually, like,
See,
yeah,
for me, I think how I see the question is not like, do you prefer big boobs or big butts, but it's like just overall. Because I prefer usually like smaller, just generally. I find it more appealing. But I
yeah.
still think boobs, because like small boobs and a big butt is ideal. This is so weird,
I wouldn't
but
say so. For me, no. I don't really like a lack of balance. I don't like small boobs, big butt. If it's small, then
not like insane, not like insane. Still
yeah, yeah, yeah,
proportionate to the body, but
yeah, 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 yeah.
like well, yeah, no, like there's just I don't know. Boobs are just like it's so weird and hard to describe because it's literally just like I would put my face in them all day, and I can't say that for a butt.
I mean, my face ain't going there. I can say that. Yeah, I just eh.
With a butt, it's like, yeah, that looks nice. But with boobs, it's like the caveman in me goes, ooh, ooh, mating time. Starts beating on my chest.
Hmm. I mean, granted, everything is better like sparingly, so
Sorry?
everything is better sparingly. So I probably wouldn't go all day. I'd probably savor it for like a minute and then just go back to being calm. But
No.
everything is
I could
better in
sleep on
everything is
that.
better in moderation. Everything is better. Well, I say that because it's something that will actually change your perspective when you like stop watching pornography. Is like when you don't get like any of that like stimulation, then it's like, oh well, if I get like anything, then it's like there's like much more of an impact to it. So
That's very, very, very true. And that's something I need to keep in mind more, or figure out how to cement into my brain.
that's what it actually it literally like humbles you on what you like want and expect. Because that's another thing that porn does is not only that it gets you used to like that stimulation, but it also like gets your expectations out of whack. That's why you see people doing all these like crazy sexual things that are like probably not very healthy for them to do, but they just have to keep doing these like very out there things because they, it's their expectation because they, for them it's like if they just had like regular sex, that would be like, ugh, that's boring. I mean, for me,
Yeah.
honestly, if I had like regular sex, then that's enough for me, honestly. And a lot of people can't say that at this point. A lot of people can't say that because they're just
True,
numb
it's
to it.
sad.
They're just numb to it,
I
and
know.
it's a real process to not be numb to it, and kind of like just to look outside. That's what it is. It's like it is tough. Like I'll say that. Like it's not easy to stop, but because sometimes you'll have like temptations and you'll be like, you're kind of like pushed. And it's at those moments where you feel kind of like caged in. But those other times where you're just doing okay, you'll feel more free than you ever have.
Hmm.
That's really how it is for me,
Interesting.
because it's also like keeping a promise to yourself too. Because
True.
yeah, because it's like when you say like I'm stopping, like you really have to, you can't, you have to stop, and it's like you I mean, for me, it's like one part of it is I'm trying to just tell you about it from like a personal angle. Because one thing
Hmm.
about it is like there is also kind of like a religious part of it for me as well, because that's like a part of my life as well, and you kind of like feel that shame. I mean, there's something. It's like when you do believe in God and you promise something to yourself and you promise it to God, then there's a difference of accountability. You know, especially if
Hmm.
you pray on like a regular basis, because that's the thing. It's like if you make a sin, if you fall behind, then you have to like tell God about it. You have to be, I said I would and I didn't, and you have to
Hmm.
feel that regret. You know, so that's part of it. But then there's also like you have this expectation for yourself, and you after a while you'll kind of get this image of yourself. You'll be like, oh, I'm beyond this. And it can be really tough when you fail because then you had this image of yourself, you were used to yourself being this way, and you're like, ugh, what am I?
Hmm.
I'm doing because that's what it is. It's like I remember actually like when I was a couple months ago when I was like really deep into the map and I kind of like ruined myself. I was getting like no sleep. I was going to sleep at like 5, 6 in the morning, working on it like all day. I was in like a really really bad state then, and usually honestly like my worst because like the no fap people talk about like relapses. My worst usually is I would relapse if I'm at my absolute worst. I would do it like once a month. Um, Normally I'm like multiple months fine, but and it doesn't sound like much. That's one thing is the difference is if you've been away from it for multiple months, if you relapse, it's gonna be kind of different because you'll be like desensitized from it. You'll be like, oh, this again. You'll be quite out of it. Where if it's just a month, then you'd be like, ugh, I'm here again. You know. It is. It's tough, you know. And I mean, that's one thing is it's something you need to be honest about because you know I don't mind being honest about it. Because it is difficult. And it's especially difficult for people today because you know it's not like Jimmy found his daddy's porn cabinet when he was like 16 and then he started going for a bit and daddy said no. It's like, oh well, you've been on this since you were like just got into puberty and you were doing it like every day of your life, and it's you're that used to it, you're that into it. That's how it is today, you know. That's what it's like for me because I was doing it since I was like 13 or whatever, since I could like do it. And back then, I literally like masturbated like every day. Back then, so I probably yeah, like that's just what it was like, you know, like
it's young men. That's what it is.
Well, it's pretty much just like what your sex drive is, because that's pretty much what it represents, you know, like because like that's the thing when you're first starting like masturbating, probably like your first year, maybe couple years for some people, you really don't think about it much, you know, you just kind of like do it, you don't really like reflect on it. It's just doing something for like basic pleasure, but then you start to think, and then you start, and some people, some people just don't reach that. Some people they kind of just go and go and go for like years. Because I've seen some people where they'll admit they're like 50 and they've been doing it since they were like a young kid, and they've just kept doing it. You know, some people they just keep going. Other people they'll like question it, and maybe they'll feel kind of shame in it, but they won't. And then other people they'll kind of just lessen it. They'll go from like, oh yeah, when I was a kid, I was like doing it every day, and then maybe when they're an adult, they'll do it like maybe like once a week or something. But it's just how I am with things, where I'm just very all or nothing with how I am, So for me, okay. Like for me, it was literally like I was doing it daily, and then I just said I'm done. I just said I'm quitting. And when I first started, I was able to stop for around a month. And when I like first failed, I was like really mad, because you haven't gone through that once. Like when you haven't gone through failure once, you're like, okay, I can do this, and then you don't, and you're like, ugh. But that's what I say for people trying to stop. I just say make a monthly minimum. That's what I say. Make a monthly minimum. Okay. And if you get over 4 months, you're pretty much in a good direction. But yeah, make a monthly minimum. That's what I say. And
that's smart.
Yeah, because there are people who were like, I tried like quitting, and then 4 days later I did it again. It's like if you did that, I don't really think you even really tried. You didn't really try.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's a month, that's enough time for you to be kind of like separated from it. And usually, if you try starting again, that's where, because it kind of goes in cycles. Where, for me, it's like a thing where if I'm just starting again, then usually it's like 3 weeks in, 20 days in kind of thing. There's a point where that's where it's like really difficult, and you have to kind of like sit through those days. And there are some times where you have to kind of just like lay in bed, and you're kind of like triggered. You kind of like you're pushed to go, but you have to just kind of like just sit and just be there
and just deal with it for a while.
Yeah, you kind of have to just go through. And people say, oh well, distract yourself, but when it's like really tough, you can't be distracted. You'll try to distract yourself, and they'll just be there. So what I do is I just like lay down and sit there and just have it in my mind, and I just kind of like hold on to it and don't move. I just I don't mean hold on to it like a sexual way. I just mean like hold on, just sit, and just I'll turn my fan on because it's getting a bit hot.
Goodness gracious.
Having a fan in my room is just brilliant. Years of my life I didn't.
I don't know how, man. Your temperature control is next level.
Well, back then it was even worse for me. Because back then I was, fatter and less fit and whatnot, so I would just sweat. But, now, now I am better with it. That's the thing that's funny is I still go out in pants in summer, but I can kind of put up with it. What is?
That's impressive.
Yeah, I just go. I used to be so much worse with the heat, and I kind of just learned to adapt to it. It is actually kind of impressive how I take it. Honestly, it's kind of funny. I honestly have more physical symptoms with winter now, ironically. Not because because I always was good with resisting the cold, but my two main problems now is in winter, I get sniffly nose and I get cold hands. And the nose sniffing, I don't really know. It's at least a sign of a good immune system if you get sniffly in the cold.
It's normal.
But it's annoying. Didn't used to happen as a kid. I go out in the cold now, and I have to like take a Kleenex thing with me every single time because I'm gonna be sniffly. So I literally have a thing where I have like a little small collection of like Kleenex and claws in my coats, and I'll like go out, then halfway through the walking trip I'll just pull out and like blow my nose, then on the way there I'll like blow my nose before entering the building. I just like adapted to it. But the other problem I have is cold hands, and I think the cold hands actually come from me playing Melee. Because I looked it up, and apparently, you use your fingers a lot, and what happens is you can weaken the muscle tendons in your fingers. And a symptom of weakened muscle tendons is cold hands. So literally when I go out in the cold, I'm fine. The rest of my body is fine, but I get really cold hands. So I always wear gloves when I go out. That's what I have to do. So sometimes it's really funny. Sometimes I will go and shovel the snow and I won't put on a jacket at all. I'll just wear my shirt. But I'll have gloves on anyway. So like the rest of my body still resists the cold fine, except my hands. So I think I got weakened muscle tendons. Remember I told that to my uncle, and he was like, "Are you kidding me? You ruined your hands from playing a video game? What are you?" So that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny.
That's great.
He's pretty funny, yeah. He's like, "Are you kidding me?" And then I like told him I remember when I told him I like went into like a philosophy class. He's like, "What? That won't make you money. What are you doing with that?" And he's probably right because that class kind of was but that's the cost of Melee. That's the cost of Melee. I hear, well, hopefully physical tournaments will open up again. Because I literally almost got to a physical tournament before COVID showed up. Like, literally.
I remember.
I literally contacted the guy. I said, "Yeah, do you hold tournaments?" He's like, "Yeah, I do in like Kamloops and whatnot. We do like house visits." I'm like, "Oh, good." And literally, it was a thing where I probably in like maybe 2 to 3 weeks time, I probably could have like went there. But then suddenly, coronavirus, it was all done, and he's all like serious about, he doesn't allow his events now, so he's all online and whatnot. And I'm like, ugh.
Damn.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes. But Melee is eternal, basically.
Melee is life. Melee is love.
Yeah, I mean, I could try online. Online's better now, but I'll have to get like an online controller. And honestly, I don't think I really even want to do online if I don't have to. I don't really want to do online. I'd rather just play actual people.
I mean, it is pretty fun. I've done it before. I would try it.
Yeah. It's just for me, I'm like so not tech savvy with those things. I just suck with emulators and all that stuff. So
Fair. I don't know. It wasn't too hard for me to figure out. I think just a couple online tutorials, you'd be good.
yeah,
I
I
think you
could.
should try it. I think it would be a great pastime for you because you'll realize you can practice melee regularly without the use of bots, and that's so nice.
You don't know what that means for me. That's what it is. Because I'm kind of like that guy in like the straight jacket in the insane asylum who's like fought CPUs so many times that
Oh, I know. I know.
yeah, people
I
yeah.
I remember your rants about being mad, never having any people to play against.
Mm-hmm. It was tough.
It is tough. I feel you.
Well, no, melee's pushed me more than anything, honestly.
Yeah.
I still say it. The only thing that I've ever really worried about is like melee. The only thing I've ever tried that I'm not sure if I could actually succeed at is melee. Which a lot of people would
That's
be like surprised at that, but most other things I'm
that
like, if I want to try, then I think I can just do it, and I just basically have confidence in myself. But the only thing I've ever like doubted myself in basically is melee.
that's how I feel about music. It's the only thing I've really like extended and taken a risk for, and really like pushed myself for.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Some weird sounds coming through my computer here. You get all the acceptance you give me.
Mm. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I've never had like a mass event where I like played against other humans, so it would be so interesting me going to a tournament. It'd be so weird too, because I don't know. Usually, like when people go, they're like scrub lords. They've been like practicing for like a month or something. These people who live in the cities.
And then there's like big time. It's like such a gap of talent.
Well, yeah, it's like the thing is, the thing that's funny is like if I ever became good at melee and known in melee, it would be so funny because I would literally be the guy who was like, yeah, I wanted to get into melee, so I practiced on my own for like 5 years, and then I went and actually started like playing, which is like
Mm-hmm.
no one has done probably. Uh, like I don't think there's anyone else who is like the monk sitting in secret, finding my path to enlightenment or whatever. I don't think anyone has ever not practiced and not actually like gone to a tournament for that amount of time because anyone else who wouldn't be able to go to a tournament would have just quit. They would have just quit
Mm-hmm.
a long time ago. Because I've talked to people before where they wanted to, but they couldn't go, so they just don't practice at all. I wanted to go, but I couldn't go, but I practiced anyway.
Yeah, it's your passion.
hmm So it's just weird. I'm just weird, but it would be really funny if the fact that I could come in and be like the fact that I know a lot of like classic stuff about melee at this point. Uh, Even though when I would come in, I would be totally non-classic. I'd be like, hey, yeah, I remember when Leffen was a baby boy and he just came in. I remember that.
Yeah, man.
I remember
He'd
when
be the
our
new OG.
That's what I respect OG Melee. I respect the old stuff. We got it at this point because Melee is really different now. Not a lot of people realize it. I mean, like the top people is like HBox, Leffen, Wizrobe, Axe,
Yeah.
whatnot. It's very different. It's very different.
Very. I mean, the fact HBox is #1 is still a big thing. A lot of people never saw happening.
Mm-hmm. Well, no. Well, the thing with HBox is it took a long time with him. I didn't
It took 8 years or
when
something.
he got good. I was completely shocked because HBox was always that guy. He was the god who would always place on like top level. But there was a joke back then that he couldn't win. He couldn't win
Yeah.
majors. You know, like the first thing he won was like DreamHack, and that was like 2012, something like that. And then he just wasn't winning. There was a joke that he couldn't win Evo. He would always get to second at Evo and then lose. That happened to him three
Yeah.
times in a row.
Yeah.
He first Evo finals against Mango, second Evo finals against Mango, third Evo finals against Armada, and he just got trolled there. But then he just got so good, and you know,
He got broken down by all those losses.
well,
It shaped him into like just indestructible.
well, the thing is, it is kind of very. It's funny when you think about it, because everyone likes to say Mango and HBox are like the opposites, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And you look at Mango, it's amazing how quickly Mango got good. It's almost unbelievable. Mango, I think he was playing Melee. He had been entering tournaments for I think 2 months when he went to Evo 2007, and he placed third in Evo 2007. And
Damn.
yeah, like it's insane. And then a couple months later, you had the infamous set with him against Mewtwo King because he beat Mewtwo King at that Evo, and everyone at the time said it was a fluke because at that time Mewtwo King ruled Melee. At that time, Ken was like basically retired, but he went back to Evo just to keep his name, and Mewtwo King was ruling the world. Mango came in, beat him that one time. They said, no, that's a fluke, and you can believe it. But you know, then I think I don't remember what it was. Oh, what was it? It was Big House 2, something like that. Mango came in and he beat M2K, and he. The thing is, it's not only that he beat M2K, he beat like all the top people of that time. He came in, he beat Azin, he beat. What was it? Who did he beat? I know he beat Azin. He beat Korean DJ. He beat Korean DJ. And Korean DJ was pretty much like probably second best next to M2K back then. And then he beat M2K handily. And after that, people were like, okay, who is this guy? You know, like, he got the respect after that. He got the respect after that. But back then, you also had a Puff controversy. It's kind of funny because we've literally got like a yin and yang situation where back then people were calling Puff the best in the game. Mango's only good because he plays Puff, whatnot. HBox got the same thing. It's just HBox, unlike Mango, slow burner. Took a long time, and now Mango's kind of going on his stunted kind of career where now Mango is pretty much just places in finals, tends not to go the whole way. Sometimes he does, and it's great when he does. That's the thing I've said. It is the best when Mango is the best in Melee, I think. When Mango's #1, I think that's the best. It's the best energy for the game. And, you know, he always says, oh, Tryhard Mango's coming out, Tryhard Mango's coming out. I mean, this year he said it. And he said the Fox is almost warmed up. And I'm like, okay, you know, you've said it before. If I see it, then I'll be really happy. Because, you know, whatever Mango does well, it makes me happy. Because, you know, back then everyone loves watching Mango and seeing him do good. But for a while, Mango was seen as kind of OP. But, you know, now, you know, it's tough if he can, you know, play it up with the kids today. So, you know, when he can, I'm always happy for him.
Totally.
Yeah. Main thing I'm happy, honestly, the happiest thing about for me is seeing PP back. PP's back. He's doing content regularly. It's a dream.
It's awesome, man.
It's great to see PP. I love PP. PP is PP might be my favorite Smash guy in terms of personality and whatnot. I love what he brings. Yeah, he's just a really respectable guy, and I just he just loves Melee, and he's a guy that hasn't let any of the competitive scene hurt his love for the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, and he's a guy who like fell in love with the game before he like really got into the competitive scene, and when he came in, that didn't really affect how he sees the game, and it's great. Because like Mango loves more so the competitive side. Like Mango loves the Melee community, the Melee competitive scene,
the showboating, the betting.
Yeah, like that's what he's into. Would Mango say he loves Melee as much if there wasn't a competitive scene? I don't really think he probably would. But if there wasn't a competitive scene, I think PP would still probably say he loves it just as much. It's just great. It's great to see him back because he was just in a bad spot for a long time, and we weren't knowing what's going on. But it's great, and everyone loves PP too. That's what it is. PP probably has the least haters of anyone. PP and M2K probably have avoided haters the best.
Yeah, I think people were annoyed with M2K at one point just because of how technical he is, but it wasn't even like hating him. It was more just hating his playing.
I think, well, the thing is, with M2K, you kind of had a couple eras. Like, when he first came in, he was kind of like an outcast because he looked at Melee totally different from how people did back then. Because back then, it wasn't scientific. It wasn't, it was basically like hardcore trash talk money match. And a lot of, like, Chillin has actually said this. And I thought this was really interesting how he said this. Back then, most people who were good at Melee, it wasn't seen like you just put in a bunch of time and then you're good. Back then, for the most part, it was seen like a natural skill kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Like Isaiah and Ken, they were, Asin, these people were thought to be like, oh, they're just naturally really good at the game. And they were, because back then, they got good and discovered a lot of things, like, really quickly. But Mewtwo King was pretty much a guy who came in, he sucked at the game, but he just put in an insane amount of work, an insane amount of research, and an insane amount of time. And he just beat everyone on that, Yeah,
man, he flipped how the game was played.
That's what I've said, actually. He's not given credit for it, but I would say Mewtwo King changed how Melee was seen more than anyone. How people play 100%. It, how people understand that.
Especially the technical side of it.
Yeah, because before M2K, no one talked about frame data, no one talked about hitboxes, no one talked about weight, falling speed, DI in detail, Back then, these were kind of like secret techniques that you just figured out on like the secret like messaging boards, and like people would show you, and you had to like, it was much more like word of mouth. But Mewtwo King, that's one thing I'll say. It's not only that he put in that work, but he also gave that research for everyone. Because he published all of his notes on like Melee. It's like 2,000 pages or something. You can look at the fall speed chart, frame data chart, like notes on hitboxes, everything that he put out there. And people don't talk about it now because there's all these guides and all these ways to learn things. But there are a lot of people back then where the way they learned Melee and all the tech skill and stuff is by reading the M2K posts. Zero actually learned Melee by reading the M2K notes, because back then, a lot of people kept their stuff secret. But Mewtwo King let everyone see everything that he put out there, and you see the transformation too. Like if you look at if you look at Melee from 2003 to 2006, let's say, it's not. It's slower. It's more. You don't see as good finessing movement. The combos are kind of very. They don't flow that well. But you look at Melee 2007 to like 2010. everyone is doing what M2K did. Everyone is doing, everyone knows how to wave dash as shield, and everyone knows how to do combos where they cover all the DI pass, and everyone knows how to edge guard. And in Melee, this stuff is like fundamental now. That kind of movement, covering options, whatnot.
Totally.
But back then, people kind of just played on ear, So people don't say it, but I don't think anyone's had a deeper impact on just how Melee is played than M2K. So
I concur. And with that, I think I'm gonna go watch some of the Smash documentary. I'm kind of in the mood now.
Okay, well, hey, good. That gets you hyped. I mean, I watched all the time. Oh man, that's one thing I'll say is I watch it once, and it's tough to get off of once you're hooked. But I won't stop you. I won't stop you. It's a masterpiece to this day. It's aged like the finest wine. It's beautiful. I'm
excited.
I'm a fanboy for that doc. All right, I honestly am. But yeah,
I remember it being good shit.
It's so good.
We watched it.
Yeah, go, dude. I'm not even gonna keep talking. Just go.
Okay.
I'll link it to you.
Thanks.
Just
I already have it pulled up.
Okay, get on it. Go.
You have a wonderful night, sir. Good recording session.
Yeah, you too.